Hello everybody, I'm Abasu. In this session, we will be discussing about the definition of cloud computing, which is corresponding to NIST 801 45. So in this, if you just look at the diagram here, they have divided into basically three broad categories. First is essential characteristics, second is service models, and last is deployment models. So let's straightly go ahead and then discuss about each and every component which they have mentioned. Firstly, we will be discussing about the essential characteristics. So they are very essential for the cloud. The first which we are going to discuss about is on-demand self-service. A consumer can unilaterally provision clouding capabilities such as server time and network storage, as well as automatically without requiring human intervention with each service provider. Broad network access. That the broad network access is the capabilities are available over the network and accessed through standard mechanism that promote use of heterogeneous thin or thick client platform. That is how we can access this maybe through the mobile phones, tablets, laptops, and workstations. The third one is the resource pooling. So in the resource pooling, the provider compute resources are pooled to serve multiple customers using a multi-tenant model with different physical and virtual resources dynamically assigned and reassigned according to the customer demand. There is a sense of location independence in that the customer generally has no control or knowledge over the exact location of the provided resources, but may be able to specify location at a larger level of abstraction. It means they can look into the location at country, state, or at a data center, let's say. So example can be resources include storage, processing, memory, and network bandwidth. And the last what we are having here is a rapid elasticity. So this capability can be elastically capabilities can be elastically provisioned and released in some cases automatically to scale rapidly outward and inward commensurate with demand to the consumer. The capabilities available for provisioning often appear to be unlimited and can be appropriate in any quantity at any time. And then just we looked into the three one, that is on demand, broad network, rapid, and now we'll look into what is major services. Now the major services are cloud system automatically control, optimize resources used by leveraging a metering capability at some level of abstraction appropriate to the level of service. This level of service can be for the storage, processing, bandwidth. Then resource uses can be monitored, controlled, and reported, providing transparency for both the providers and the consumer of the utilized services. So this is what we are having as essential characteristics. Now let's go forward and discuss about the service models. So we are having three service models, that is SaaS, that is software as a service, PaaS, platform as a service, and IaaS, that is infrastructure as a service. So let's discuss first about the software as a service. The capability provides to the consumer is to use the providers applications running on cloud infrastructure. The applications are accessible for various client devices through either a thin client interface, that is web browser, or a program interface. The consumer does not manage or control the underlying control infrastructure, including network, server, operating system, storage, or even individual application capability, with the possible exception of limiting user specific application configuration settings. So the example of SaaS application can be the Gmail. So like Gmail, you are not you cannot manage anything. You cannot manage the storage, network, server, operating system, and all those things. You can just manage your account over there. Or any corporate like Office 365. Nowadays Office 365 is completely on cloud. So if even the uh, even if a customer wants to buy it as an enterprise license as well, they will give you, you can go for this as SaaS application for that. The next is the PaaS application, that is platform as a service. The capability provided to the consumer is to deploy onto the cloud infrastructure, um, consumer created and acquisite application created using programming. So typically this is done on pay per use or charge per use basis. A cloud infrastructure is a collection of hardware and software that enable the five essential uh, characteristic of cloud computing. The cloud infrastructure can be viewed as a containing both physical layer and a abstraction layer. The physical layer consists of hardware resources that are necessary to support the cloud services being provided and typically includes server, storage, and network components. The abstraction layer consists of the software deployed across the physical layer, which manifests the essential cloud characteristics. Conceptually, the abstraction layer sits above the physical layer. It's three languages, libraries, services, and tools supported by the provider. The consumer does not manage or control the underlying cloud infrastructure, including network, servers, operating system, uh, storage, but has control over the uh, deployment applications. So here where they were saying, if you need a platform and you want to deploy anything, so then the platform as a services, what is can be utilized. Next is the infrastructure as a service, the capability provided to the consumer it to provision, process, store, and network and other fundamental computing resources where the consumer is able to deploy and run the arbitrary software, which can include operating system and application. The consumer does not manage or control the underlying cloud infrastructure but has control over the application, storage, and deployment applications, and possibly limited control over the network components. So here they were saying they provide the basic infrastructure that can be, you can see the servers, the networks, but whatever you are doing, like application you are deploying, what are the different storages and how you are managing the application. So that is your responsibility, and the infrastructure will be provided by the cloud service provider. The next, what we are having as a deployment models. So here on a basic level, we have four deployment models, that is public, private, hybrid, and community. Let's start with the private one. Private cloud is the cloud infrastructure is provisioned for exclusive use by a single organization comprising multiple consumer. It may be owner, managed, or operated by organization, a third party, or some combination of them. It may exist. So this is by a particular space which is only for a single organization, that can be in-house and that can be on cloud, or it can be a hybrid, like partially in-house and partially on cloud. So next we are having the community cloud. The community cloud, the cloud infrastructure is provisioned for exclusive use by specific community of customers from organization that have sharing concerns with other communities. It may be owned, managed, or operated by one or more organization, the community, third party, some combination of them. So this is like, if there are a set of consumers who are in based out of same industry, so they can go for it. Let's suppose the banks. If banks does not want to have a cloud which are having other other industrial data as well, so it is a community cloud. So community cloud is, there is a cloud where only for that's for the all banks data only. So nobody can ask like retail or real estate, they cannot put their data over there. Next is public cloud. The cloud infrastructure is provisioned for open use by general public. It may be owned, managed, operated by business, academic, or government organization, or some combination of that. It exists on premises of a cloud service provider. So cloud service providers, like anybody can use that particular place. Next is hybrid. The cloud infrastructure is composed of two or more distinct cloud infrastructures. It can be public, community, or private, that remain unique entity but are bound together by standardized and proprietary technology that enables the data and application portability. So if you're taking more than one cloud deployment model, you are deploying your some applications, let's suppose on public and some on private. So the combination of that is a hybrid. So the combination is any which is maybe public private, between public private and hybrid, public private and community. So this is what we are having as a definition of cloud computing, and this is from NIST 800 145. Thank you for joining.